be me. 31 years old and still bitter about my ex-boyfriend from 2 years ago. We dated for 3 years, and I thought he was going to propose to me. Waited and dropped hints constantly, but he never did it. Finally got fed up and gave him an ultimatum after year 3. Said either propose in the next 6 months or I am walking away. He did not propose, so I left him, just like I said I would. Told everyone he wasted my prime years and could not commit to me. My friends all agreed he was just another man afraid of a strong woman. Spent the next 2 years being angry and talking about how he led me on. His name was Daniel, and honestly, he was a good guy overall. We met at a friend's party when I was 25 and he was 27. He was tall and had a good job and treated me well at first. I thought I had finally found someone who could handle me. His mom, Patricia, was always really sweet to me during those 3 years. She would invite me to family dinners and buy me birthday gifts. She would always told Daniel how lucky he was to have found such a smart woman. I really thought she would be my mother-in-law someday. Honestly, after the breakup, I never saw any of his family again. Obviously, blocked Daniel and everything, and told our mutual friends to pick sides. Most of them stayed neutral, which I took as them picking him over me. Cut off anyone who still hung out with him regularly after that. Fast forward 2 years, and I'm at a coffee shop on a Saturday, waiting in line, scrolling my phone, when I hear someone say my name. Turn around, and it is Patricia, his mom, standing right behind me. She looks exactly the same, maybe a little older, but still put together. My stomach drops because I do not know what to say to her. She smiles warmly and says, "It is so good to see me again." Asks how I have been and if I'm doing well these days. I give her a polite answer and say yes. Everything is great, thanks. We get our coffees, and she asks if I have a few minutes to chat. Part of me wants to say no and get out of there immediately. But another part of me is curious what she has to say. Agree to sit down with her at a table by the window. She starts with small talk, asking about my job and my family. I answer politely, but I'm waiting for her to bring up Daniel. Finally, she sighs and says she has thought about me a lot since breakup. Says she always wondered if I ever figured out what really happened. Ask her what she means by what really happened between us. She looks at me carefully, like she is deciding whether to say something. Finally says she thinks I deserve to know the truth after all this time. My heart starts beating faster because I do not know what is coming. She says Daniel was planning to propose to me after our 2nd year. He had bought a ring and was going to do it on our anniversary trip. I feel like the wind has been knocked out of me hearing this. Ask her why he did not do it then if he had already bought ring. She takes a deep breath and says because his father and I talked him out. I feel my face getting hot and ask why they would do that to us. She says because we saw how you treated him and we were worried. Says we loved you, but we could not watch our son disappear anymore. Ask her what she means by disappear, because that makes no sense. She says, when you started dating Daniel, he was confident and happy always. He had hobbies and friends and a life outside of the relationship with you. By year 2, he had given up everything to try to make you happy. Says he stopped playing basketball with his friends because you complained about it. Said it was immature and took time away from building your future together. He stopped seeing his college buddies because you did not like them much. You said they were bad influences, and he needed to grow up already. Remember saying those things, but I thought I was helping him mature, honestly. Thought I was pushing him to be better and focus on what matters. She says he did not see it as helping. He saw it as controlling everything. Every time he tried to do something for himself, you made him feel guilty. She continues and says, the way you spoke to him really worried us too. At family dinners, you would correct him in front of everyone constantly. If he told a story wrong, you would interrupt and tell it your way. Made him look stupid in front of his own family over small details. Remember doing that, but I thought I was just being accurate about things. did not realize it came across as putting him down in front of people. She says he started going quiet at family events because he was afraid of saying something wrong and being corrected by you in front of everyone. Ask her why Daniel never said any of this to me himself, directly. She says he tried a few times, but you would turn it around on him, made him feel like he was being too sensitive or not supportive enough. Eventually, he just stopped bringing things up because it was not worth fighting. She says by year 3, Daniel was a shell of who he used to be. He gained weight because you controlled what he ate for his health. He stopped laughing as much because you said his humor was immature. He had no friends left because you had isolated him from all of them. Feel tears forming because I did not see it that way at all. Thought I was building a life with him and helping him improve himself. She says that is not how he experienced it at all. Unfortunately, he felt like he was constantly failing and could never be good enough. She says when he showed us the ring, we should have been happy. Instead, his father asked him if he was sure this is what he wanted. Daniel broke down crying and said he did not know anymore. Honestly said he loved me, but he did not know who he was anymore with me. Says they told him to wait and really think about if this was right, not to rush into marriage when he was feeling so lost and unhappy inside. He put the ring away and tried to work on things with me instead, but nothing changed because I did not know there was a problem. Ask her why. Nobody ever told me any of this was happening then. She says Daniel was afraid of how I would react if he was honest, and they did not feel it was their place to interfere in our relationship. They hoped Daniel would find the courage to either fix it or leave. She says when I gave him the ultimatum, he was actually relieved finally, not because he did not love me, but because I made the decision for him. He did not have to be the bad guy or face my reaction to truth. I walked away thinking I was the victim, and he let me believe that. Sit there feeling like my entire understanding of that relationship just shattered. I thought he was the one who failed us by not committing to me. Turns out, I was the one who failed us by being controlling and critical. He was trying to survive the relationship, not build a future in it. Ask her how Daniel is doing now and if he is okay these days. She smiles softly and says, he is doing really well. Actually, finally, he started therapy after we broke up to work through what happened. Got back in touch with his old friends and started playing basketball again. Says he has been dating someone new for about a year now. She is kind and supportive, and his friends and family all love her. He laughs again and has opinions again and seems like himself finally. She says it is like getting her son back after losing him for 3 years. That hurts more than anything else she has said so far. Honestly, the idea that being with me made him lose himself that completely, that his family felt like they lost him while we were together, and they got him back only after I was gone from his life. Ask her if Daniel hates me now after everything that happened between us. She shakes her head and says, no, he does not hate you at all. Says he hopes you find happiness and figures out what you want in life, but he also knows that he could never be happy with you specifically. She pauses and then says something that really hits me hard inside. Says she thinks I probably do not treat just Daniel this way always. Asks if my other relationships have had similar problems and patterns too. Asks if men tend to pull away from me or stop trying eventually. Think about my relationship before Daniel that ended after 18 months. He said I was too critical and he felt like he could never win. Thought he was just making excuses for not being good enough for me. Now I'm wondering if he was telling me the same thing Daniel could not. Think about the guys I have dated since Daniel ended 2 years ago. None of them make it past a few months before things fall apart. They all seem interested at first and then slowly pull away from me. Always assumed they were intimidated or could not handle a strong woman. Patricia says gently that she is not trying to hurt me with this. Says she genuinely cared about me and wanted things to work out for us. But watching her son lose himself was the hardest thing she experienced. She could not let him marry someone who made him feel so small. Says she hopes I can hear this and really think about what she said. Not to feel bad about myself, but to maybe see a pattern I am missing. Says I am clearly smart and accomplished and have a lot to offer someone. But none of that matters if I make my partner feel worthless constantly. Thank her for being honest with me, even though it is hard to hear. She pats my hand and says she really does wish me the best always. Says she thought about reaching out many times, but did not know if I would listen. Running into me today felt like maybe it was supposed to happen, finally. She leaves, and I sit there alone with my coffee getting cold. Replay every moment of my relationship with Daniel in my head differently. All the times I thought I was helping him improve or grow up, now seeing them as times I was tearing him down and controlling him. Remember when he wanted to go on a guy's trip and I guilted him? Said if he really loved me, he would want to spend that time with me. He canceled the trip, and his friends stopped inviting him after that. Thought I had won, but really, I just isolated him further from everyone. Remember when he made a joke at dinner with friends, and I corrected him, said, actually, that is not how it happened, and told the real version? Everyone went quiet, and he barely spoke for the rest of the night. Thought I was just being accurate, but I humiliated him in front of everyone. Remember when he suggested a restaurant for our anniversary and I shot it down? Said that place is not nice enough for a special occasion like this. Picked somewhere expensive that he could barely afford on his salary. Made him feel like his ideas and choices were never good enough for me. Remember when he tried to talk to me about feeling disconnected from us? I turned it around and said he was not putting in enough effort. Said I was the one doing all the work to build our future together. He apologized, and I thought I had won that argument. But really, I silenced him. All those times I thought I was being a strong woman with standards. I was actually being a controlling partner who could not let him be himself. No wonder he never proposed, even though he had the ring ready to go. Marrying me would have meant losing himself completely, forever, with no escape. Go home that night and sit in my apartment alone, thinking about everything. Call my best friend and tell her about running into Patricia at coffee shop. She listens and then says something I do not expect to hear from her. Says honestly, she has noticed some of those patterns in me too over the time. Ask her what she means and why she never said anything before. Now she says, because every time anyone gives me feedback, I get defensive immediately. Now says she has seen me talk about men and dating in really harsh ways. Says she has watched me be critical of guys over tiny things constantly. Says she always thought I would figure it out eventually on my own. But maybe I needed someone like Patricia to actually spell it out for me. Someone with nothing to lose who could be completely honest about everything. Says she loves me, but she has been worried about me for a while. I feel like my entire world is crumbling around me in this moment. 2 people in one day telling me the same thing about myself. Basically, that I am the problem in my relationships, not the men I date. That my standards are actually criticism, and my strength is actually control. Spend the next few weeks really thinking about everything Patricia said to me. Start noticing how I talk to men and about men in general, constantly. Notice that my default is critical and judgmental and looking for flaws immediately. Notice that I interrupt people to correct them without even thinking about it. Start therapy to work through why I feel the need to control everything. Therapist helps me see that I am terrified of being vulnerable with anyone. If I control everything, then I cannot be hurt or disappointed by someone. But that control destroys any chance of real connection and intimacy with partner. Work on catching myself when I am being critical or controlling in moments. Practice letting things go that do not actually matter in the big picture. Practice letting other people be right, even when I know they are wrong. Practice supporting instead of correcting, and encouraging instead of improving constantly. 6 months later, I run into Daniel at a mutual friend's birthday party. My heart stops when I see him across the room looking happy and healthy. He looks like a completely different person than the man I left 2 years ago. He is laughing and animated and surrounded by friends who clearly adore him. He sees me and comes over to say hello, which surprises me, honestly. We make small talk, and he introduces me to his girlfriend, Sarah. She is warm and friendly and clearly adore him, and he adores her back. I can see immediately why his family loves her and why he is happy. After she walks away to get drinks, he looks at me seriously for a moment. Says his mom told him she ran into me and had a conversation with me. I tense up, not knowing if he is angry about what she said to me. He says he is glad she told me and hopes it helped me somehow. Say I am sorry for how I treated him during our relationship together. Say I did not realize what I was doing until his mom explained it all. He nods and says he knows I did not do it on purpose or maliciously. Says he thinks I was just scared and did not know any other way. Says he hopes I find someone who makes me feel safe enough to let go. Someone I do not feel like I need to control or fix or improve. Says he is happy now, and he genuinely wants me to be happy too. Then he squeezes my shoulder and walks back to Sarah across the room. Stand there watching them together and feeling something shift inside me, finally. Not jealousy, but something like clarity about what I actually want in life. I do not want to control someone. I want to be partners with someone. I do not want to improve someone. I want to appreciate someone as they are. Realized that Patricia probably saved me from making the same mistake again. If I had never run into her, I would still be blaming men, would still be thinking Daniel was the one who wasted my time, would still be repeating the same patterns with every guy I dated. Take out my phone and find Patricia's number from years ago. Still saved. Send her a text thanking her again for being honest with me that day. Say, I have been working on myself and things are starting to make sense. She responds, saying she is so proud of me and knew I could grow. A year later, I am dating someone new, and it feels completely different. His name is Marcus, and I met him through a coworker at my job. He is kind and funny, and I actually let him be those things now. I do not correct his jokes or tell him how to improve himself. When he wants to see his friends, I encourage him to go have fun. When he tells a story wrong, I just smile and let him tell it. When he makes decisions I do not agree with, I let him learn himself. I support him instead of controlling him, and it feels so much better. He told me recently that he loves how easy I am to be with. Said his last girlfriend was always criticizing him, and it was exhausting constantly. I felt a pang of guilt knowing I used to be exactly like that, but also grateful that I did the work to become someone different. Finally, sometimes I think about Daniel and hope he is still happy with Sarah. Hope he got the proposal and the wedding and the life he deserved. Hope he knows that our relationship was not a waste for either of us. Because without that failure, I never would have learned what I needed to. Patricia did what Daniel could not do, which was tell me the truth directly. She held up a mirror and showed me who I really was in relationships. It was the most painful thing anyone has ever said to me, honestly, but also the most important thing anyone has ever said to me, too. Sometimes you need someone with nothing to lose to tell you hard truth. Sometimes the people closest to you are too afraid to be honest. Sometimes an ex's mom in a coffee shop can change your entire life. Sometimes being destroyed is exactly what you need to finally build something real.